My name is Rico, the Dungeon Master for Season 3, the restoration of the 12 Olympians. This season, we'll find our heroes traveling back to the lands of Eris and Enyo within Harmonia, as they adventure through and see what they have accomplished and completed by restoring the 3 fabled relics, the Sickle of Kronos, the Golden Apple of Discord, and the Robe and Necklace of Harmonia. We'll start with Deborah.
I am Deborah, and I am playing a human rogue named Neith. Her name is Neith.
And I'm Matt, playing a dragonborn monk named Ari Futan.
And I'm Daphne, and I play Gilcyra Venfire, who is a halfling druid.
And my name is Rico. I am the Dungeon Master for Season 3 of the campaign. So you guys collect all of your belongings as you exit the arena. Everybody has all of their stuff back. You've got your cloak of invisibility and stuff back, so nobody will bother you if you don't want them to. Nobody would bother you anyway because they saw you flay a guy's arms in fours. And there are lines of people that line the exit of the arena that wrap around and line towards the main street. On the wind, you can smell all sorts of different roasted meats. You smell all sorts of sweet cakes. You smell fresh wine. There is no ambrosia, unfortunately, because this feast was prepared by mortal folks.
How dare they?
But the people are clapping and cheering for you as you walk out of the arena towards the main street. Fireworks are still going off. There are little kids running and laughing and playing, some fighting with swords, some pretending to punch each other with their fists, some with daggers. You got some people with their wooden horses, like above their heads. They're pretending to be like horse animals or something like that.
Anybody with like little elephant faces?
No.
A little elephant mask?
Nope, not yet. Not yet.
Lost opportunity.
Alecto has dropped her Fury guys because that would probably be unsettling to some people. She's back to her little farm girl guys. And there are bards playing music like from the Bards Guild Hall, like real bards. So the music is probably the best music you guys are going to hear for a while.
I'm going to grab like a mug of ale or something.
Yeah, so there's going to be just a long table that runs north to south. It's probably 200 feet long of all these tables just stacked north to south with a bunch of different foods and things like that. There are other competitors from the Tournament of Blood. They're eating. This is a feast, for all the people that participated, all the ones that lived anyway. You guys do not see Pan, Martel, Perry, or Theobald. You reckon it's probably because they are still being attended to.
I'm sure they'll join us at some point.
Actually, no, I take that back. Perry is there, dancing at the end of one of the tables, and
I want to flip like some gold coins at him.
At Perry,
not like in a vicious way, just like he's dancing.
Not like
so it's like a
way.
tip.
So just like,
oh yeah, take it off.
Making it rain for Stripper Perry. And he's doing a river dance.
No, I love it.
Jigging his little feet on the table, and the people are laughing and dancing with him.
Clapping hoot.
Yeah, exactly. And Pan is there, not Pan Halcyon, but the goat god.
Goat Pan.
And he's there playing his lute. Lux is there playing her flute with him.
Oh, she's doing a good job.
And she's gotten a lot better at her flute playing because while you guys were fighting and she was downtime healing people, she's been practicing her flute.
Nice.
So she's actually dancing with Pan, and they're harmonizing really, really well.
Nice.
Beautiful.
She's not 100% yet, but she's like 98.9%. Like she could almost play as good as Pan.
Nice.
Which is, like God level music playing. She's getting better. So she waves at you guys and congratulates you all and gives you hugs, and then goes back to playing music with Pan. As Pan is there dancing and playing his music, a little silver scroll materializes out of the air, and then words begin to burn into the scroll. You guys are familiar with this. You haven't seen it in a while because you haven't done anything, but this is your story of deeds and things that the new demigods of Olympus have done. So the Tournament of Blood, all of the fights are being added to your guys' story of things that you have accomplished in the lands. And you see all of the other gods there as well. Each of your respective gods have a spot next to them that isn't being attended or sat by anybody else. You get the feeling that those are your spots.
Oh, I'm gonna head over next to Festus and.
Yep. And then Hephaestus is going to pull the chair out, and he's going to say, Ari, masterfully done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, my boy.
Thank
he's
you
gonna
so much.
Put his big old arm around you and force you to sit down next to him.
Absolutely.
And there is, all types of food there, whatever you're feeling hungry for.
Oh, me.
Electo actually pulls the chair out from somebody that was sitting in the other chair. Like with one hand, just pulls the chair out. The guy falls on his ass. He turns around and stands up like he's going to do something about it. And then he sees this little farm girl. But for a moment, you can see that her eyes turn white and there's a flash of blood dripping down her cheeks. Like she's just intimidating the guy who thought he was going to do something to this little farm girl. And then he realizes that's probably not a very good idea.
Not a good idea. But
So he says, I wasn't using that chair anyway. You can have it. And he goes 200 feet down to the other end of the table. So she sits down next to you and she goes to hold your hand.
I hold her
on the
hand,
top
yeah,
of the table.
for sure.
And Ares is sitting there waiting for you. He has his arms across his chest and he's looking at the empty chair and he's like, have a seat.
I go and I sit down. And I'm not really feeling too nervous around him so
He
much.
notices that.
As still a little bit, but not as
He
much.
notices
Not,
that,
not as
though,
nervous
and
as I
he's
used
like-
to be around him.
You did good in the Tournament of Blood.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
Oh, good. Thanks,
I
Ares.
wish I could have made some money off of you.
Uh,
And Eris chucks a hog leg at him and it bounces off of his head. And he shoots a glance over at her and she just does this. Like, do something about it.
come at me, bro.
Shakes his head and he sits down and he puts his hand on your little tiny halfling head.
Aw.
And he's like petting you a little bit. Like you're his pet at this point. And he's like, you did good. You didn't disappoint. You get to live
good.
another day.
Oh, good. That's all.
And then-
All I wanted was not disappoint you.
So far you haven't. Keep it up.
Good.
And I may have a seat next to me for you on Olympus. And then Zeus looks over and he says, you better fucking not. And then Ares is like, you can't stop me.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
And
I'm
Hera's
just gonna
like,
stay out of this.
yeah, you really can't stop him. He's like, I am the king of gods. I can do whatever I want. And then she's like, she scoffs. And like an old married couple, she just dismisses him. Then he goes back to eating and drinking. And these gods, they are clearly gods. They are not guised as mortals. Like the people know, oh my God, these are the Olympic gods. So people are being deferent to them. Servers are offering them food and drink and averting their gaze, and they're having a good old time because it's been a long time since they've actually
Averting the
been
gaze.
onto the mortal plane. And Hera looks over to you three and she shoots you a look, like a nodding, understanding look, like, oh my God, there's going to be more bastards after tonight.
I just kind of shrug.
Because Zeus is drinking and he's hitting on anything, man, woman, any race that isn't human. He's just hitting on all of it. Like, Zeus would be the pansexual of this world. He will fuck and love anything because he's a god and he can turn into anything, so everything is attractive to him. And Athena is waiting there as well. She's actually sitting on the table with her legs crossed, one foot in the chair, and she just kicks a chair out for you.
Nice.
She's like, just to have you come join her. Nice. And then as you sit down, your chair moves in by itself at the table. And then she turns and she sits down and she puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, well done taking out that paladin. That was impressive. Better than probably what I would have done myself. And then she looks at your daggers and she says, I haven't seen those in a long, long time.
And I still have my daggers out, and I'm just kind of like crossed against, like across my lap.
And she gazes at them longingly. And she tells you, at one time I owned those daggers. Hephaestus made them for me before the relics were separated. And Hephaestus is like, damn right I did.
Yeah.
Too bad you couldn't hold on to him.
Ooh.
And then she throws a glass of wine at Hephaestus, and he ducks and dodges, and it hits some server. They fall over. You guys hear a large crash as a tray of food and drink is spilled out on the floor. Everybody laughs. All the gods laugh. Hades laughs as well. So they're all there, just enjoying this celebratory feast in your guys' honor, and well, not specifically your guys, but for the Tournament of Blood. And you can tell people have had this feast more than once. They're familiar with the celebration after the tournament has concluded.
I take my cup of whatever
Wine, beer, water,
ale, and I say to Hephaestus.
And half of the table that you're sitting around raise their glasses as well, and they cheers with you. To Hephaestus!
Yeah!
You actually hear the brothers in the background further down the table. To Hephaestus!
The ones that help with the dine and dash action.
Yeah. The armor smith and the weaponsmith that had the faint bastard glow. Their glow is a little bit larger now.
I give them a look and a wink.
And they look at you and wink. They don't have Hera's embrace, so they can't see that you guys are also bastards, but they're like, to Hephaestus, to Hephaestus. And half the table cheers, not all of them, because not everybody worships Hephaestus.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But those that do, that appreciate him. And Hephaestus also says, to me.
Yeah.
Because he's all about it.
You're the best.
He's ready to enjoy. This is their first banquet since the relics have been restored. So this is their first time really here on the mortal plane doing fun mortal things.
Nice. They're loving it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mortals are wild.
Yeah, there are a couple servers sitting on Zeus's lap, some buxom women, a couple scantily clad males, some half-elf males. Zeus is flirting and making out with all of them. Hera is
Some butt
pissed
fingering.
and sighing heavily because she can't stop him because he is the king of gods after all.
What are we gonna do?
And yeah, it's just one big feast. One bit. Minerva is there.
I mean, thankfully, the dudes that Zeus is gonna fuck can't have babies, so probably.
Well, yeah, but Zeus can shift into a female form.
Ah, fuck.
Hey, that's not on us, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
That's not our problem.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to plan B some shit.
So yeah, you guys are free to talk to your gods, talk amongst each others, do whatever you guys so choose. It's your guys' party, really.
Go ahead.
What food is in front of me right now?
All of it, all the food.
So directly in front of you, there are some pastries and some sweet cakes. There is a whole roasted wild boar with a big old pineapple in its mouth.
Oh, what?
It looks like there's a big old carving knife and fork there. Nobody's cut into it yet. It looks like it was purposely put there for you and Ares. Kind of like a sacrifice to Ares, like here is a blood sacrifice to you, Ares, god of war. And for you as well, because your appetite is legend at this point.
Legend.
Because you've been
Hungry
eating
fuck.
the entire time you've been in Aspasia, so people know, oh my god, Jelsira likes to eat.
I'm like, hey, Ares, do you want to eat that boar with me?
Nothing would make me happier.
All right. Well, I just go to cut into it.
All right. And he lets you. And you were taking too long, so he rips the head off of the boar. Like, he puts one hand on the body of the boar and the other hand on the head around some tusk, and he just rips it off. And he starts eating the brains and the gray matter and stuff out of the boar. And he's just going to devour tusk, skull, bones, and everything while you gingerly begin to carve the boar. And he looks at you with a mouthful of boar flesh, and he's like, just dig into it.
Yeah, I stop cutting and I just get on the table and I just start eating the boar.
And then he cheers, and some druids cheer, and Perry cheers, and people are like, look at her. She's going to eat the whole thing. So you guys see Jelsira digging into this boar like a horse that's been loose in the grain bin, and there is just flesh flying and grease and fat and gristle.
Is Electo going to get in on this action too, like she had before?
Electo's
Just
gonna absolutely
like,
get in
oh
on
shit,
that
she's
action.
digging in.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking go to town, champ.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
she's also going to go to town. She's not even going to use utensils. She's going to pick up handfuls of food on a plate in front of her, and she's going to pick up the plate and just bury her face into the plate. And you're going to hear like snarfing sounds, like noisily eating, because God, this is delicious. Human food is the best food.
Yeah, I'm gonna find like some sort of like, it'd be like a turkey leg, but like, maybe not turkey, like maybe like I don't know, like a leg of fucking beef or whatever. And
Yeah, it's absolutely there.
Not like a super savage like these weirdos, but like fucking, I'm seeing this happen and I'm like, all right,
And then Athena looks over to you and she says, Neith, she says, can you believe their savagery? No table manners whatsoever. And she's using utensils to eat her food, like fresh fruit and grapes and deer.
God.
Neith
And
pulls
she's
out her
like-
daggers to cut some
She's cutting little pieces and taking small bites. Like she's classy. Like, yes, she's a goddess of many, many things, but she's got decorum about her. And Hephaestus is laughing at you and slaps you on the back.
Yeah.
And he begins just picking up legs of meat and eating it as well.
I wait like a little bit just to see like what people are picking up and eating and making sure they haven't died from it.
All of it.
Yeah.
Everything is being
Okay.
eaten. Nobody looks like they're dying from it.
All of us are dead.
And if anything was poisoned or tampered with, the 12 gods of Olympus would make sure that that person no longer existed on this in this realm. Like, for example, let's say there was something that was poisoned. Hades would take their full body and soul directly to the underworld with no hesitation.
Nice.
He would just open up an oubliette straight to the underworld, and that person would cease to exist.
What the fuck is an oubliette?
An oubliette? A big, dark, bottomless pit? Yeah.
So
You never heard oubliette before? Oh, it's a thing. Look it up.
That used to be my web brain when I was a teenager.
Really? Nice.
It was called Prisoners of the Oubliette.
Nice. Yeah, so see, I knew other people knew that word oubliette.
So Neith makes herself a small plate. I mean, she is hungry after all that. And also is using her utensils and nicely eating. And she kind of looks around and then pours herself a little goblet of wine.
Thank you, iPhone.
Wow, I did not.
I mean, it is nice to have one's work appreciated.
That was a boost of confidence I needed. Thank you, Siri. I feel great. That was fucking wild.
Wow,
I don't know.
that was random.
I hope that picked up on the recording. It probably didn't, but I hope it did.
Oh, man, you missed it, man.
What happened?
I don't know why, but all of a sudden, Daphne's phone goes off and says,
It's nice to have one's work appreciated. Just said it, just wildly, out of the blue.
That's an omen, if anything.
No
right?
prompt, nothing.
Message from the 12 gods right there.
So the feast goes off relatively without a hitch. I will allow you guys to role play with your gods and ask questions and ask for favors or ask for equipment or gear if you like, or you guys can role play amongst yourselves. At this point, I have nothing left to describe regarding the feast.
I mean, I got my gloves. I can't think of anything I would need. I'm just happy to have put on a good show for Hephaestus and my dragonness, and I did some breath weapon shit. So I mean, I'm sure Hephaestus is happy about that. He loves that dragon shit, and big fan. I've got my wings out for sure, just for giggles.
And then Martel comes out and sits in a seat next to Hades. Theobald comes out and sits in the other chair next to Hades. Hades had 2 empty chairs. And you see Pan all the way down at the end of the table by himself with other paladins of Bahamut. And he's sitting with... What was her name?
Jimmy.
No.
Randall.
Nikki as fuck.
No, there was one of the gods that favored Pan, but he didn't get to meet her because...
Oh, fuck. Which one was?
Was it Demeter?
No, Aphrodite.
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
So Pan is sitting there with Aphrodite, who had a seat spared for him. Pan looks at the end and sees you guys down at the other end of the table, and he raises a glass of wine to you guys, acknowledging that you're there. And Aphrodite is sitting there on his lap with one leg crossed over the other. And she's twirling her fingers through his hair and giving him kisses on the neck and on the cheeks and occasionally on the lips in between drinks and bites of food. Pan is clearly Aphrodite's favored, so his gift is irrelevant because you guys don't know it yet, but...
I stand and raise my mug and say, to Pan, to Theobald, to Perry, and to Martel. Well fought.
Oh, man. The whole all of the people at the table stand up because Martel and Theobald and Perry are massive heroes in Aspasia. So everybody stands up, including the gods, taking a cue from you, and everybody cheers to Pan and Martel and Theobald and Perry, who's still dancing like a madman. And everybody says, cheers to the runners-up in the Tournament of Blood. Yeah! And everybody cheers. There's sloshing of liquor and alcohol all over the table, all over the food. There's bread that's getting soaked with wine. Nobody cares. There's plenty of food. Street vendors, you guys hear street vendors cheering in the background. Little kids are cheering and playing sword fighting. And Artemis and Pan seem to have lost interest in the food. Not Artemis, sorry. Aphrodite and Pan seem to have lost interest in the food and are strictly interested in each other.
No, that's fine.
Half of Aphrodite's toga has come down, so she's got one boob out, and they're just going at it as Pan and Aphrodite are wont to do. So they won't be much for conversation.
I mean, it's full on party time, right?
Yeah, it is absolutely
People
full on
are
party
dancing.
time.
Oh, I take Electo by the hand and see if she wants to have some dancing fun. Let's just dance around, dancing.
Oh, I'd love to
Dancing,
dance.
yeah. Awesome. So we'll just start dancing. I still got my drink because we're having a good time here.
And Pan and Lux will come over to you and Electo and play music specifically for you guys. And you can begin to dance and have a good time.
We're doing that thing where we're like holding hands and like they're going back and forth and dancing.
She'll dip
We're not
you a
doing
couple
any
times.
fucking line
Nice.
dancing. That's not happening. But yeah,
She'll dip you.
awesome.
She's having fun with it. So she's clearly leading in the dancing.
Yeah, try not to let Perry steal all the fun up there dancing on tables. and
Yeah,
shit.
because that's what he's going to do.
he's having a good time.
as
Let's all
he's
have a good time.
River dancing on the table. He's kicking food up to himself. Occasionally, an octopus tentacle will come out from behind his back to grab more food to feed it directly to his mouth.
Get some head tie shit going.
It's a really good time, and the party will continue on through the night until you guys get tired and decide to rest for the evening.
Is there what is there to drink in front of me?
Directly in front of you is wine. Just wine.
Red wine.
I just start chugging the wine.
It's not wine. It's actually blood.
Oh, so I ask Aries, I'm like, hey Aries, do you want to drink this blood with me?
Is it alcohol blood?
Yeah, it's alcoholic blood.
Nice.
And Aries is like, yeah, I brought that for us.
Oh, right.
This is my personal vintage.
Oh, okay.
So he materializes a big, huge fucking stein, and it fills with this glistening goop of blood. And you can taste the alcohol in the blood.
Oh, yeah.
And he is just sloshing it back.
It's the blood of a drunk.
It's blood of a dragon.
A drunk dragon.
It's alcoholic dragon's blood. Some of his favorite blood.
Oh.
And he's drinking it with you. Nobody else is drinking it. People know this is strictly for Ares and his favorite. And If you drink it all and your cup goes empty, it fills back up with more alcoholic dragon's blood.
I just start chugging it.
Get down, killer of innocence.
With both hands, just like straight up, like just.
Nice. You will get drunk.
Oh.
You will get increasingly intoxicated.
After the first glass, though, I'm like, "Hey, Aries, do you have any advice on the hind?"
The mystic deer in the wood?
Yeah, that's our next task.
Yeah. As soon as it smells you, it's going to run.
As soon as it smells me?
As soon as it's any of you.
Okay.
The hind lives in a magical wood where humans and humanoids dare not tread.
Okay, so as soon as it smells us, it's going to run.
And everything in that forest will try and kill you.
Okay.
Shit.
The bugs are venomous. There are other wildlife that will kill you on sight.
Shit.
The plants are poisonous. Do not eat anything, no matter how good it looks. Make sure you take plenty of food and drink with you.
You're going to need to relay that information because I hadn't even thought about that.
Everything in that magical wood where the hind lives has been created and placed there to protect the hind.
Okay.
Things that look like aloe and help cure wounds, make them fester and
Sexy.
make them... What's the word I'm looking for when something gets worse?
Oh, awesome.
When infected. So things that look like they would cure wounds just infect them and make them worse. Like, you know when you cast your blight on somebody and it bubbles up disgusting disease?
Mm-hmm.
The food in there will do that to your insides.
Got it. Okay. All right. Thanks, Aries.
Yeah.
And
Happy to help.
Great. And I take my knife and I just jab it into the boar. Some of the flesh that's left, and I just start eating straight out of off the knife.
Yeah.
And just kind of like and just a little bit of blood trickles off my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Because I kind of cut myself a little bit, but I don't even care at this point. So I just kind of start eating it straight off the knife.
That's so hot.
And then I just
Aries reaches down and takes the blood off of the corner of your mouth, and then he licks it. He puts it up to his mouth and he licks it. He's like, bastard blood. That's delicious.
And I continue to
And he smears it across your cheek like Joker makeup, like Heath Ledger Joker makeup. He just smears your blood across your cheek.
what's happening to
Is anybody
Zoe?
coming up to get autographs and stuff? Or?
Little kids are
Nice.
absolutely coming up with like anything that you guys could sign, like horses, wooden swords and shields, pieces of paper, napkins that have been tossed around that are covered in food grease and things of that. So yes,
I'm super friendly. I'm signing anything, doing anything. Anybody
and
wants to
Alecto is too.
Anybody that's wanting to like come up and be friendly with me, I'm into it. I am like, this is the shit. Let's do this thing. I love it. This is great.
Captain of the guard
Party time,
walks up
baby.
to you, and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "Thank you for saving my family.
You're very welcome.
Enjoy the feast."
You too.
I plan on it.
Yes.
He no longer has a sling on his arm, and all of his teeth are back in his mouth.
Awesome. How's your wife?
Doing quite well.
Excellent. Excellent. I hear your daughter's doing well as well.
She is now the leader of the Rogues Guild.
Awesome.
I think she's going to be just fine.
Yeah, she's gonna be great.
And Eris pipes up, "Damn right she will be."
Yeah, she's gonna be great. Eris is gonna look after her.
And he's like, "That's what I was promised." I'm still captain of the guard, by the way.
She's got it made in the shade with lemonade, baby.
And he looks over to you, and he nods, and he smiles. He looks over to you, and he doesn't look at you. He doesn't know that you're there. He looks over to Lux, and he nods and half smiles because she's the one that jabbed the dagger through his fucking hand. And then he goes back down the table with his wife to eat and drink and party. There doesn't seem to be a large guard presence like out patrolling.
Why would there be? We're all here.
Because the butcher bastard of Aspasia has been killed and people are here partying. There's nobody that's going to be doing anything illicit. And even if there was going to be, it's not like the 12 gods of Olympus wouldn't immediately do something about it. That's another reason why there's no crime, because everybody's like, "Oh shit, all of the Olympic gods are here." So everybody's on their best behavior.
Yeah.
Do I recognize anybody like in the crowds or anything? Maybe like from a certain tavern or anything?
What?
No.
Okay.
None of those guys are here.
All your people is dead.
How far away are we from, what was the tavern's name? Something Sparrow?
Oh, shit. What was it? Something Sparrow? Hidden
Gilded Sparrow?
Gilded Sparrow.
Gilded Sparrow. How far away
here
are
to
we
help.
from the Gilded Sparrow?
You have to go past the street vendors. You have to go past the businesses and past the first ring of homes. So it's probably 180 feet deep into the city proper.
Are there barbarians here, or are they just still
No,
outside?
there are no
Oh,
barbarians
Jesus. Antisocial freaks.
here. They hate the city.
Yeah, fuck them.
They just won't come into the city if they don't have to. And Eris doesn't make them.
No, yeah.
And there is nobody that's going to attack Aspasia either because it is heavily patrolled by barbarians. Despite them not wanting to come live in the city, they don't want the leader of the city being attacked or its people being attacked.
Ari's got nothing, but like Matt, fan of barbarians. I listen to some
Well,
podcasts
they're
about
outside
barbarians.
north of the city. You
Pretty
could always
fucking cool.
stop in and go see
Yeah.
them before you go hunt the hind.
Yeah, well,
Like, you guys will not be unknown to them.
just historically and Earth realm shit, barbarians are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are pretty badass. And
pretty cool
D&D
s-
barbarians
pretty cool
are
story.
exceptionally badass. Like Genghis Khan and Conan had
Yeah.
kids is a type of D&D barbarians we're talking
Like
about.
some like blonde haired fucking Germanic, fucking just
Some red hair, some black hair, big burly guys that don't wear armor and have big fucking weapons.
they love the fucking beards.
Yeah, go into a berserker rage, and while they're in a berserker rage, take no penalty from damage and can't be killed.
Barbarians are pretty cool.
Yeah, barbarians are pretty fucking
Pretty
badass.
cool.
Yeah, and it's a party all night.
I continue to drink the blood booze.
Yeah, you are going to be incredibly drunk. You're not going to be able to walk back to the mayoral estate under your own power.
I mean, me and Alecto
Do I notice
are-
that?
Yes. To you, there is duplicate and triplicate of everybody,
Oh.
and the world feels like it is constantly spinning. You're fine as long as you don't get up and walk. If you're seated, you're fine. But you can tell you are probably incredibly drunk off of this alcoholic dragon's blood. Also, you're like 3.5 feet tall.
I turn to Athena and I say, as we all know, an ill-rested fighter is a dead fighter.
What's
And-
a fighter?
Well, you know,
Someone that
warrior, fighter.
A person who fights.
She's of warfare. I'm speaking to that. And we also know that an intoxicated warrior can also be a dead warrior. So I mean, and I'm waiting for this. It's like probably what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. At this point, by the time she's that sloshed.
Anti-meridian?
And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take my leave at this
And then she says, at your leisure, and she nods to you, like, reverently, like she expected nothing less from her chosen champion. And she raises a glass to you, and she takes one sip, and she says, rest well, you've earned it.
I finish off my glass of wine that I've just been kind of like sipping on the night. And then I walk over to Jelly.
Oh,
And
Neith.
she vanishes
Nice.
because you were done partying, so if you were done partying, her reason for staying there is gone.
As a rested warrior is a live warrior.
Hey, Neith, have you met Ares?
How many Aries are there here, Gelsira?
There are like 3.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's time.
too many. Where are they? Because he is also drunk.
Oh.
Well done.
Aries, I think your chosen here may have indulged a little too much and may be ready to sleep off the effects of your magnificence
No such
around her.
as too much.
Right.
Well, she is only like 3 feet tall.
And then he looks over at you and he says, have you had enough?
I've had some. I don't think it's enough
you go.
though.
She says she hasn't had enough yet.
And also, I want to make sure Cedric gets some too. And I'm like, Cedric,
Fuck yeah, find some.
come help drink the
Is
blood.
Cedric a male owl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, get some female owl
Cedric
puss.
appears.
Hey, Cedric, have you met have you met Ares?
And then he looks over at Ares. He's like, I have not.
Oh, he's the god of war and savagery.
Scary.
The best.
He's all right.
And then
He's-
Ares picks up Cedric like this. Not hurting him, but just in his big hand, he picks up the whole owl body and he looks at him. Yep.
Drunk
And then he
Aries
puts
look.
him up to his nose and he smells him. And he looks at you and he says, is this food?
Oh, he's my friend,
And he
familiar.
puts him in his mouth. And he's like, oh, your friend?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
And like Cedric is dripping in like saliva and bits of meat are on his feathers. And he's got a little bit of dragon blood wine all over him. And he puts him back down in front of you and he says, good bird.
I want to grab some meat and put it in my hood for Karka.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Your little dragon's back there.
Make sure he's getting plenty.
He actually comes out of your hood after you've given him some food, and he runs down your arm.
Yeah.
And he begins to run around the length of the table,
Oh, yeah.
up and down.
Get you somebody.
And he's picking up a couple of the gold coins that you threw at Perry's feet and clutching onto one of them.
Yeah,
and then
no,
he's
for
just-
sure, Karka, but also get some food.
And he is with his one spare little dragon claw that he has.
Oh, yeah.
And he's actually gotten a little bit bigger now.
yeah,
You
had
caught
that.
him. You had him when he was just a little tiny pup.
Yeah.
He looks to be about 2 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and probably now that you aren't fighting and you've had time to sit and relax, he probably feels like he weighs about 30 to 35, maybe 40 pounds.
Karka,
like on
have
your
that.
shoulder to nothing. That's nothing to you.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting bigger at a pretty quick pace because you just got him, a week or so ago.
Karga, have your fill, man. Like,
And he is.
don't hold back. Eat some of this food. There's plenty.
And you notice Pan
Get down, baby.
and Aphrodite are gone.
Yeah, okay.
They're just not there anymore. They didn't say goodbye to anybody. They just left.
The
They left-
Irish goodbye.
They left no passing
My favorite
or
goodbye.
trace of their leaving, but they are no longer there. You three all know why Pan's not there, because he's with the goddess of beauty and he's probably getting his dick wet. Because that's what Pan has done. You guys have known he's always fucked goddesses. It's kind of been his thing.
He's SEXing.
Yep,
He's always fucking
SEXing.
goddesses.
Well, yeah, back on the mountain and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
One of the soothsayers there was a. Oh, I forget what her name was. Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a scion or goddess of something. Yeah, so yeah, he's it's been his thing, and
We're definitely not going to interrupt that shit.
and Hades is gone. Martel and Theobald are also gone. They're
you go.
probably going out to collect souls
All right.
or go rest off their evening of partying.
So industrious.
Yeah. And you're still there with Jelsira, and Ares is trying to make her stay, and you're not convincing him that she needs to go.
Crowd's thinning out
I
a little.
put my hand on Gelsira's shoulder and say,
Ares puts his hand on your other shoulder.
and
I love
say,
it.
Your familiar just almost got eaten.
No.
Not even
I
close.
think
I
it's
spit it
time
back
to
at him.
rest.
And Cedric is like, "Please, I don't want to go back in his mouth. It's hot and smells like lava.
Oh, hey Cedric, you want to drink some of the bloody booze?
No.
Booze blood? Oh.
I want to go get clean."
Oh, okay.
And his shoulder, his feathers are matted. He doesn't look like he could fly even if he wanted to.
Gelsira, do you have something
Oh,
you
hey,
do to
Neith.
dry off your owl here?
I mean, I got fire.
But
Ares is like, "Yeah, I'm on fire."
don't light your familiar on
Because
fire.
Cedric in your head is like, "Please don't light me on fire."
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Ari's watching this at this point. He's seeing this happen and he's loving it.
Hephaestus is
Alecto
watching too. He nudges you. He's like, "I bet you 20 gold Ares eats that bird."
I'll take that bet.
Because you're about to be fucking rich tomorrow.
Hey, Hephaestus, you see Karga? My little gold dragon friend?
I've been watching him the entire tournament.
He's fun, right?
He's the best.
Look
Can
at
I
him
have
go. No, no. I mean, I don't think you can have him. I don't think. I mean, that's up to him. He's his own. He's his own dragon.
And then Karga comes up to you, and he sniffs the air, and he looks at Hephaestus, and he says in Draconic to you, he's like, "No, he can't have me."
No, you can't.
And
have
Hephaestus in Draconic is like, "All right, little guy, I was just asking." And then Karga looks up at him like, "You understand Draconic?" And he's like, "I am a fucking god. I understand everything."
Hephaestus is the best.
And then Karga blows a little fire
He
at
loves that.
Hephaestus, and Hephaestus snatches it out of the air
Yes.
and puts it like in a pocket.
Oh, I
Got
love
a
that.
nice little bit of dragon fire to play with later. And then Karga's like pouts and puffs out smoke and goes back to collecting gold coins that you threw at Perry. Perry is no longer dancing anymore. He has left. He didn't seem to be favored by any one god or the other, but Perry's just Perry. So
That's my little buddy Karga.
I take a piece of my original cloak. Now that I've got all my stuff back.
The original cloak.
My original cloak. And I try to like brush off some of poor Cedric's feathers. And I'm like, Gelsira, you can't even take care of Cedric right now.
Oh.
I think we should go to bed.
And I'm like, oh, hey, Neef. Hey. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Gelsira? You ready to go to bed?
Have you met Ares?
Okay,
and
at
Ares
this
looks
point,
over and he's like, nice to meet you.
I at this point I just like shake my head.
I'm the god of war.
I turn is Ari within like shouting distance at least or
He's
speaking.
across the table.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I go, Ari,
What up?
will you watch her?
Yeah. I'll keep an eye on her.
All right, and I leave the party, and I head
Bye,
over,
Neith.
and I just kind of do a backwards wave.
Good job.
Yeah, the Hades backwards wave.
Yeah, it's just like God.
I love that. I love that's a
I'm like,
thing now.
I'm
that
like,
people
Neef,
do it.
where are you going?
And now they don't know this, but I actually head towards the Gilded Sparrow.
All right. You can easily do so.
Nice.
You
They
disappear.
still open?
into
I
the-
imagine they
They
would
are
be
open 24 hours a day,
I figured,
7
yeah.
days a week. So Ares takes his hand off of your shoulder, and he's like, I'll tell you when you've had enough.
Oh, okay.
And he
Well,
pours you another glass of alcoholic dragon's blood.
so have I had enough?
Nope.
Okay.
Not yet. Not until you pass out at the table.
Okay.
And Ari and Electo are having a great time, so we're not leaving yet.
And then Hephaestus is like, we still get to see who's going to win that bet if he eats that bird or not.
Yeah. For sure.
And then he cheers you with his big old glass of beer. And you make it to the Gilded Sparrow. Nobody gets in your way. In fact, people
Merge.
merge. Yeah, they
I just walk.
they just avoid your
that.
void space.
Out of the way, peasants.
Because they don't notice you. They just subconsciously avoid you.
Is the previous bartender that I had met before attending tonight?
Yep.
Wait. I go up to the bar and I make myself known.
We're all having a good time out here at the party. You're going to go to a different
I
bar?
am not a party person.
All right. Fair enough.
And
Come on, it's neat.
he
You think she's really going to stay at
turns
a big
around
old revelous party?
and he says,
It's for
I'm
us.
getting used to your tricks. You didn't startle me that time.
Ooh, snap. Yeah.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Bippity
How can I help?
No, I came over for a drink.
Were there not drinks at the banquet?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you might have something nice.
Oh. I mean, I've got some things. How strong do you want it to be?
How strong you got?
I've got something that'll grow some hair on your chest. Oh yeah. It would be the equivalent to
Nipple hair.
the moonshine like alcohol, like high grain alcohol.
How many episodes ago was that?
What?
The nipple hair shit.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't even
Sure
remember
it
that.
was. It has to have been forever ago.
Yeah.
but it was a thing.
I don't remember.
And he gets a bottle off of the top shelf. The bottle is a clearish amber color. And he puts, see, match Jim Beam glass right there?
Yes.
He puts a glass like that in front of you. And he gives about a 2-second pour of this amber liquid into the cup. And he's like, this is some of the strongest stuff I have in the house. You are welcome to it.
And
Tournament
I
champion.
take a sip.
And it tastes like
Birds.
Everclear
Nice.
would
Ooh.
taste. It tastes like non-flavored moonshine would taste. Like if you exhale, you
going
can
for.
feel the alcohol coming off of your breath.
Yeah, Matt knows that feel.
That Everclear moonshine feel.
Yeah.
The almost dries your mouth out. It's so alcoholic.
Used to keep that under my bed to mix with Mountain Dew
Yep. I used Everclear with Country Time lemonade.
when I was a child.
And then he puts the bottle back up on the shelf. Probably this one cup will get you drunk as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is probably 180 proof, so it's 90% alcohol.
As an aside, I went out with the grill cook from Steak and Shake one time.
Yeah.
And we went to the bar after work, and he was like, we were drinking, and I was like, great, this is great. I'm not, come on, I got what I got. And he was like, you got to drink this. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, oh, just drink it. Come on, and making that face. And I'm like, I don't like drinking things I don't know what they were. I'll drink it. You got to tell me what it is. I will drink it. I'm telling you right now, I will drink it. You tell me what it is. He's like, no, just drink it. I was like, Jesus Christ, whatever. Fucking took it back. He was like, that's 151. I was like, yeah,
Already
you're not-
151.
like,
Yep.
yeah, you're not fucking. Yeah, I drank Everclear as a child. What are you doing?
Yeah, so this is stronger
newfound
than
respect.
151.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like,
So I try to keep back a nice cough.
You ain't getting me, motherfucker.
I don't drink that much. And then I go, this is the kind of stuff that should not be drunk alone.
This bar ain't got
and
shit that
then
can take
he
me.
pulls a glass out and pours one for himself as well. And he takes a sip and he's like, so what brings you here this evening, this late at night? There are other rogues milling about, all drinking and eating.
All the non-dead
practicing
ones.
their
The
their
non-dead
dagger
ones,
throwing.
yeah.
There was only like 45 rogues that needed to be
It's a
killed.
lot.
I mean, yeah,
Only
45.
45.
That's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of rogues that are no longer with us.
Oh, I find that just, the revelry that is happening is just, just too much. It's too big and noisy.
That's why
for
a lot of
someone like
rogues
me.
come here.
However, I have found that all of the blood that I've spilled today still has me kind of energized.
Did you want to spill more?
Oh yeah! Spill some more blood.
And then some rogues perk up, and they're like, blood spilling. People are moving tables and stuff out of the way. Like,
Yeah, keep it.
They're
Keep it
making-
in that fucking gilded sparrow.
They're,
shit. They'll come back to the party to spill blood.
making like a knife fighting ring. Like,
Ooh, with the fucking the tying it together like in
yep,
that.
somebody tosses a rope into the middle of the floor.
What was
People
it,
are
the Beat It video?
they've moved their chairs and tables to create a ring.
I didn't think they could hear me.
Where well, I mean, blood spilling is,
That's
there's a
true.
lot of good rogues in here that hear a pin drop.
Was it Beat It? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael
it was
Jackson.
Beat
Let's
It.
go, champ.
Yeah. And I say, well, I wasn't thinking of burning off this energy in that way.
Oh, and a couple other rogues.
Is this the guy that he and I were making eyes before?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just check.
So a couple other rogues hop into the knife fighting ring, and they wrap the rope around their wrists, and they each pull out, just a regular dagger, and they begin to have a good old fashioned knife fight.
Beat It fight, yeah.
And he's like, oh, I get it. And then he takes a few more drinks of his drink, and he says, after we finish these drinks, I have a room.
No.
And I finished my drink with him.
Nice. So he calls out to some of the rogues, and he says, I'm going to the back for a few hours. Don't tear the place up. And a lot of rogues are familiar with him just leaving the bar on occasion. So they're like, yeah, we get it.
Good job.
And they go back to cheering and betting on the knife fights. So there's some slashes, there's some blood splatters against the wall. These guys aren't trying to kill themselves. They're just
Right.
the first one to say, oh my God, I quit, I'm a pussy, loses. And he goes to the end of the bar and he lifts up the flat door and he says, come back this way.
Nice eyes, follow him.
All right. So He closes the door back down, and he looks down as you sashay past. He's looking at your ass. And he gives you a quick smack on the back of your ass, and then he licks his fingers. And he goes to follow you to back behind the bar. And back behind the bar, there is his bed. He's got a dresser. He's got some nooses. He's got some throwing stars. He's got some axes and daggers into the wall. He's got, a target board.
Oh, yeah.
And then he grabs you around your waist and he throws you onto the bed. And then he rips your first cloak off of you. And then...
hold on. As he goes to do that, I kind of stop him for a second, and I very nicely take off the first cloak.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
invisibility cloak.
Oh,
Or
well.
not my invisibility cloak.
I
but
mean,
my...
he's not going to do anything. I mean, it's Hephaestus
Right,
made.
but it's Hephaestus made. So I'm like, whoa.
okay.
Just be nice to it, yeah.
Proper.
Oh, okay. And then he grabs one of the nooses off of the wall and puts it around your wrist.
All right, champ.
And ties it to one of his bedposts.
Nice.
Then he grabs another noose and wraps it around your wrist and ties it to the other bedpost. Then he takes a dagger off of the wall. And then you wear leather armor, right?
Yeah.
Just plain old leather
Just
armor?
plain on leather armor.
He takes that dagger
Leather armor.
and cuts through your shirt and your leather armor and rips the rest of your clothes off of your body. And you guys, he begins to have his way with you. You guys are both fueled on booze. You don't appear to be struggling, so he will take that ass to Pound Town and beat the brakes off of it unless you tell him to stop.
That went up to 10 real quick.
Well, we're running out of time. We've only got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
So, yes, you can with the adrenaline of the fight. And you guys can take turns with who's going to have who tied up because he will let you tie him up.
We do that, yeah.
Yeah, you guys take turns, tie each other up. All right. Good deal. So you can have quite fulfilling... This guy's probably 10 years older than you, but stamina is not
Yeah,
waning.
no, that is.
Yeah.
He is as lean and cut as you are. And he smells like smoke and wood and working in a tavern and a bar.
He's got that Michael B. Jordan body.
Yep.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan has a great body.
So you guys, you can have amazing sex with the bartender owner of the Gilded Sparrow. He thought you just wanted to cut more people up.
Nope.
Nice.
Yeah.
You hear cheers out from inside the knife fighting ring as the people are continuing their knife fight. Winners are decided, losers are decided. You can hear bottles crash and break as people are walking behind the bar to get more booze. He doesn't seem too worried about it. It's a lot of money, illicit and legal, comes through the Gilded Sparrow. They have trophies, and this is like a fence for
Right.
for rogues.
So I figured.
Like, you bring in stolen goods, I give you money for it. I will then later sell the stolen goods. So Gilded Sparrow isn't going to go broke anytime soon. And he takes care of you multiple times. He is a generous lover.
Generous lover.
Yeah. So you are still getting drunk as fuck with Ares.
That's right,
Neith
Jelly.
is gone. Hephaestus is still there with Ari.
I went to go take care of myself.
Yep. And
Yep.
Tried.
Ares gets up and he grabs just a big old fucking pineapple from another end of the table and puts the whole thing in his mouth and takes a big old fucking bite of it, skin and all, and begins to chomp it and chew it. It's got to be gross.
That's less disturbing than taking an onion and just taking a bite out of it. But yeah, still disturbing.
I'm like, where'd Neef go?
It has,
I'm like, hey Neef, have you met Ares?
she's gone.
Ares is like, she's gone.
Where'd she go?
She's busy.
I think she wanted me to go somewhere.
To bed, probably.
Is it time?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not until I say,
Okay.
you're going to drink as much as I'm going to drink. Actually, you probably can't drink as much as I can drink.
That's smart Harry.
Maybe one more, then you can be done.
Okay.
Ares is now eating sweet pastries and cakes. He's like, he had his main course, he's had his drink, he's had some fruit. Now he's having dessert. So one more full glass, and then you're done.
One more.
If If you think say so, okay.
I don't think I do say so. So, yeah, the world is still spinning. Cedric is in your head like, are you okay? Are you okay?
Am I? I
mean,
don't know.
You don't look okay.
Oh.
Your face is red. You've got blood all over your lips. You're getting more outside of you than you are inside of you.
I don't know if I'm okay, Cedric.
I'm definitely not okay.
Oh.
And then Hephaestus looks over at you and he's like, oh, he's got to eat that bird soon.
He's definitely gonna, right?
Right. You would think so. And Karga's like Indraconic. You think he'll eat the bird?
I don't think he will, but Hephaestus thinks he will, and we got
And
a bet
Hephaestus
going.
is like, do you think he'll eat the bird? And Karga's like, well, if nobody's going to eat that bird, I'll eat the bird.
Karga, no, man. The bird's not food.
And Cedric hops on your shoulder and he nuzzles you and he's like, I'll help you get back to the mayoral estate safe.
Oh.
Just don't let him put me in his mouth again.
He wouldn't eat you. He was
I
just
think he would.
I have a moment of just a brief 2-second moment of sobriety. And I'm like, oh, Cedric, you better get out of here. I don't know what's going to happen.
And Ares is like, I wouldn't eat your bird. I can hear your guys' conversation in your head.
Oh, hi, Ares.
Well, he was saying that out loud. He wasn't talking telepathically. Cedric is talking to you telepathically. But Ares, being a god, can read your mind and hear those thoughts.
Hey, is Cedric, he's not going to eat you.
No, I'm not going to eat you. And then Hephaestus is like, God damn it. And then he throws you 20 gold. And Karga takes 2 pieces of it. And he's like, for the VIG.
Yeah.
My cut, my cut.
Of course.
Okay, well, I just go and down that last goblet then.
And Ares looks over and he's like, now you're done. And then he takes a big old armful of cakes and he goes to walk away. And as he walks away, he's walking away and his footsteps are like lava and fire, and it's like he's shrinking into lava and fire, and then he just dissolves into the earth, leaving a trail of fire and a little bit of molten rock behind him.
He's just going to leave me here?
Yeah. He said you were done.
Oh.
You probably didn't notice it because you were super drunk, but when Neith was done, her goddess left. And Pan and his goddess left. Hades left with Martel, and Theobald, left. So the gods are only there as long as you are there at the party.
Oh.
And he said that you've had enough, so he's just going to leave you to your own drunken devices. Because he cares about you, but he's pretty confident that you can get back to bed safely.
I'm like, hey, Cedric, you can carry rats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you carry me to bed? I want to go.
Are you going to volleyball? I was like,
I'm gonna wild shape.
Yeah, absolutely. I can carry you. That's so good. 500 XP. That was so good. That's so good.
I'm gonna wild shape into a rat.
Nice.
I was like, where's that going?
So, in your drunken stupor, you wild shape into a rat. You have one little tiny rat-sized halfling arm. You've got half of a tail, one halfling ear, but the rest of you is rat. The 90% of you is rat. And then Cedric picks you up, and he flies back towards the mayoral estate, and he'll fly through your open window, and he'll take you back to your room that you have slept in multiple nights.
Nice.
So it is just you and Hephaestus and Alecto, and then the remaining other 8 gods that will party as long as you're going to party. The waitstaff will keep bringing food as long as people are eating.
Well, me and Alecto are going to keep dancing for a little bit, and then I'm going to go to give Hephaestus a big hug if he's into it. If he's not into it.
Into it.
For sure. So I'm going to give him a big hug and be like, well, that's probably going to be it for
Oh, you're going to take my golden run, are you?
What, your golden what?
You're going to take my golden run?
Oh, you're
the bet you just won.
I mean, yeah, what's the other option? Are there going to be more bets?
My
I mean,
golden not run?
Not the fuck else going on.
Oh, you're calling it?
Yeah. I mean, it's late.
Alecto is like, hanging on to you,
Yeah.
like really close.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to a top of a building is my plan, but
And he's like, okay. So you're not done.
No,
not yet.
not
and Electa's
done.
like, no, he's definitely not done.
no, not done.
And then Karga's like, yeah, he's not done.
Not done.
And then he jumps onto your shoulder and gets into the hood of your cloak.
He's gonna come with.
I mean, that's the only place he's got to go is the hood of your cloak.
Well, he's gonna do his own
I mean,
thing.
he
But if he
doesn't
wants
want
to
to
come
go
with,
into
that's
your
fine,
bag
too.
of holding because there's no oxygen in there. He would
yeah.
die in there.
Yeah, he's welcome to come with. I mean,
And then Hephaestus is going to cheers you, and he's going to smile, and he's going to nod. He's going to return the hug, and he's going to say, better well.
yes.
And then she says, oh, he will.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting better.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, that's my dragonborn. And he vanishes and dissipates into steam and smoke of what you would expect out of a blacksmith shop. You smell burnt steel. It smells like, a blacksmith leaving. And as he disappears, the other gods see that you were getting ready to leave with Alecto. They all, one by one, begin to vanish and leave from the table. Zeus takes about 4 or 5 men and women servants with him. Hera shakes her head and she says, God, it's going to be a long night.
Sorry.
And, I mean, she
Not our problem.
doesn't seem like she's that turned off about it. It can be assumed she's going to join them.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
And then Eris says, I reckon we'll see you in the morning when we can discuss the hind.
Oh yeah.
You know where the estate is.
Yep.
Make yourself at home.
Will do.
And she gets up from the table and she turns to walk away. She's going to walk back to the mayoral estate.
Me
And-
and Electo fly off into the night.
You and Electa fly off into a beautiful full moon lit evening. Oh, yeah. Shit, and that'll do us for this episode of Some Would Play. Listen next week as we get to the hind. Fucking A. God. Trial 3. I'm so excited. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for listening to Some Would Play, a production of the Outsanity Network. Join us again next week as the story continues. Find us online at www.somewouldplay.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at SomeWouldPlay. Deborah is at Sanyataki. Rico is at R1C0. Daphne is at Dafterthought, and I am Psychedelic M. If you enjoy the show, please tell your friends and share it with others. And remember, in real life, you needn't roll for initiative, so just seize it.